Greetings! So we all love GBNews, don't we? We love GBNews. We've come accustomed to its professionalism.
Oh, okay.
Just its all-round quality broadcasting.
But first, it's the news headlines. No, it's not. We're going straight to me. This is breaking news. It's fast happening. Because as we just said, the terror man...
We always know that GBNews is going to cover the topics that really matter to the British people.
Adam, first of all, what's it like wearing a chicken costume?
And whatever topic they're covering, we're safe in the knowledge that they will have experts in their field ready to come on the show.
Roy Chubby Brown joins me now.
So my next guest is comedy legend Jim Davidson. He's got a pint in his hand already. Look, he's non-stop with this.
It's my fifth one.
Two men with the musical Midas touch. Right said Fred. Join me now. Fred, Rich.
Good evening.
So we had the COVID report start this week, didn't we? Old Dickers, old Dicky Docky, Dominic coming in, starting off proceedings. Now, not really much of it was a surprise, was it? We knew the government were completely incompetent. We knew we probably had the single worst Prime Minister that we've ever had to tackle this situation, to tackle a world pandemic. We knew most of the staff were just covering up their own mistakes most of the time rather than actually getting the job done, and they were probably drunk most of the time as well, so it wasn't really too much of a surprise. But we trust in the fact, we know that with a serious topic like this, the British public are angry, we're upset. GBNews are going to tackle this with the seriousness that it deserves.
Pigs, morons, in emails and WhatsApps to your professional colleagues. Do you think you contributed to a lack of effectiveness on the part of ministers and of the cabinet?
My appalling language is obviously my own, but my judgment of a lot of senior people was widespread.
Blimey, when I heard that language, I didn't know whether I was comings or going.
I didn't know if it was comings or goings. Whenever I watch GBNews, I always wish that I could be a fly on the wall in the writer's room. When they come up with that one, I would have loved that. It's just in there. Script is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not very funny, though. Can we put in any jokes? Well, I was thinking, it's Dominic Cummings, right? Yeah, it's Dominic Cummings, yeah. And he was using, like, pretty foul language, yeah. It was pretty foul language, yeah. So what if they didn't know whether it was Cummings or goings? Brilliant. You're a genius. I don't know how you come up with this stuff. Well, I guess that's why you work on GBNews, isn't it?
The chaotic shambles that was Number 10 during the pandemic confirms what we feared all along, that whilst we were sat on our hands at home in an insane and ruinous experiment to stop a respiratory virus, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. No evidence-based science, no proper debate, no risk assessment, just chaos and disorder led by indulgent idiots, woefully out of their depth, often drunk on Oxford Landing or Jacob's Creek, purchased from the Westminster branch of Tesco Express. We can be entertained by the soap opera and chuckle at the choice of language, but it won't bring a smile to anyone dealing with the legacy of the, in my view, wildly failed policies inflicted upon us for 2.5 years, where countries with fewer measures saw the same, if not better, outcomes. The sad reality is that Boris Johnson's instincts were right all along.
Boris Johnson's instincts were right all along. You can see this shit unravelling in front of your eyes, can't you? You can see the whole story before it even happens. I don't think there's any coincidence Boris Johnson chose this week to announce that he's going to be on GBNews. He's going to use GBNews as a defence mechanism throughout this whole COVID report. He's going to be on GBNews going, I was powerless, I didn't want lockdowns, but those pesky scientists, those damn scientists, they were the ones that pushed them through. And the GBNews audience will lap this shit up. And as soon as the Tories completely collapse during the next election and have to move further to the right, he'll be there, ready, with his GBNews audience, ready to take the Tory leadership once again. And these people will lap it up. They'll love it. And who's falling for this? I can see it all unravelling in front. I know exactly what's going to happen. But people will still lap this shit up. Because I can't say, the presenter's talking about it here, isn't he? Like, I hate these comments that you hear all the time. Lockdowns didn't work. Oh, how can you trust scientists? They wanted lockdowns. Well, what are you judging it on? When you say lockdowns didn't work, what do you mean? Scientists weren't saying lockdowns were going to get rid of COVID. They said that it would ease the pressure on the NHS. That was the point of lockdowns. And the presenter here makes the comparison of other countries, doesn't he? I hear this one again as well. I assume he's probably talking about countries like Sweden that didn't lock down and stuff like that. You can't compare this country to Sweden. You can't. You can't do it. Two completely different countries. Mainly, Sweden have an absolutely incredible national health service that is well funded, well staffed. UK, a failing national health service that has been neglected for years, that is understaffed. Sweden have a population of about 10 million. We're nearing 70 million in this country. We have a bigger population density. I mean, the list is endless. A bigger obesity problem. The two countries are vastly, vastly different, but mainly the fact that our NHS has been so neglected over the last few years, so underfunded, we wouldn't have coped. Can you seriously, with a straight face, any of these people stand there and say, you know what, if we just let the virus run wide and we didn't have lockdowns, the NHS would have coped? Of course it wouldn't. And people would have died, not just because of COVID, because they wouldn't have got treatment that they needed for everything else. It's ridiculous. I hate these comments, and I hate the fact that it's used negatively to throw shade on scientists, and it works, and the spiral increases into anti-climate change opinions and stuff like that. Oh God, give me your comments, guys. Do you think what I said is going to happen? Do you think Boris Johnson's using this as a tool to get back that leadership of the Tory party? Comments down below. I always appreciate your comments. If you like the video, plonk a like, and if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. I'm sure there'll be another video. You can check that one out as well. Till next time, take care.